Yo, what's going on, guys? It's your boy Alpha, back in the video here on Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, and today we got my best tips and tricks on how to stay alive longer and get your first MGB here in Modern Warfare 2. Before you get these tips, guys, if you're new to the channel and you're enjoying the content and want to see more, make sure you get down below, smash that like button, subscribe for more, and turn on post notifications. I upload every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday with the best class setups, crazy gameplays, tips and tricks, and more, and I don't want you guys to miss anything. Alright, so getting into the first tip, guys, my number one tip is to have good settings, and I do have a channel going in depth for the best settings, so go ahead and go check that video out if you need some good settings to go on long streaks here in Modern Warfare 2. But having good settings here is a must if you want to go on a long streak and stay alive longer, because you don't have good settings, your aim's not going to be as good, your movement's not going to be as good, all the things like that. So making sure you have good settings is a must if you want to go on long streaks. And for my second tip, this is going to be having good awareness. You're going to be really aware when you're playing Modern Warfare 2, because the game has loud footsteps and all those type of things. So there's so many things you can use to be at an advantage in every gunfight, and just be aware of your surroundings and understand what's happening in every single game, like listening to footsteps, looking at your mini map whenever you're having like a UAV or something like that. The mini map is probably the most important part when it comes to being aware of your surroundings, and can greatly improve your game instantly here in Modern Warfare 2. So when I say be aware and looking at your minimap, I don't mean just stare at your minimap 24/7. Like, if you look at my gameplays, guys, you constantly see me like looking up like that, not like just staring at it, but you constantly see me like looking up, like basically after every kill, because every time I get a kill, I'm looking up, seeing where I should go next, seeing where they're going to be spawning and things like that, which leads me to the biggest part about being aware. You're going to want to learn like how spawns work in Call of Duty, which is like, so whenever you have your team with you on like one side of the map, the enemy is most likely going to be spawning at the other side of the map. If you really want to, you can get into more detail about the spawns here in Modern Warfare 2, like figure out the exact spawns and stuff like that. But if you don't have the time to do that, most people don't have the time. You know, you work like a 9 to 5 job, you go to school. Like me, I'm a full-time college student, man, so I haven't even learned the exact spawns yet. But if you have a general idea of what the spawns are like here in Modern Warfare 2, how they work, you're going to be way more aware of your surroundings and be able to streak up longer. So for my third tip, guys, this is positioning yourself to win more gunfights, and this is arguably the most important part to improving your game and going on a long streak here in Modern Warfare 2. Because if you aren't positioning yourself and you're just losing gunfights, if you aren't positioning yourself good, you're just going to lose a bunch of gunfights. You're not going to streak up, and that's probably the main reason why a lot of people don't go on long streaks and lose all their gunfights, because they're not really focusing on positioning themselves. And whenever I'm talking about positioning yourself for gunfights, I mean, you always want to try to be in position to where you get the first shot off in a gunfight, like where you're either shooting them in the back or they're sprinting around a corner and you're already there prepared for the gunfight because you knew where they were coming. And whenever I am referring to this, guys, I do not mean sit there in a corner and just pre-aim everything. No, please do not sit in a corner. That is not what I'm saying at all. Like, you see, like in my gameplays, a lot of the times I'm usually ready for people whenever they come like around a corner and things like that. I'm usually ready for the gunfight already, and I'm already getting the first shot off. And in a game like for Modern Warfare 2, the time to kill is just absurdly fast, where you die in like 2 to 3 bullets basically every time. You need to be making sure you're getting that first shot off. So if you can learn how to position yourself and just be ready for people, like when you have a UAV and you know where everyone's at, or like an advanced UAV, you know where everyone's at, you can really position yourself to make sure you're getting that first shot off, waiting for people to, like, not necessarily you're pushing them, but you want them to kind of like be pushing you at the same time, or like know where you are, or I don't know how to explain it, guys, but when you're in a gunfight, you want to make sure no matter what you're doing, you know, when you're being aware, you should have a general idea where people are coming from, and then that's when you can really focus on getting that first shot. So if anything, if you don't find anything helpful in this video at all, if anything, just make sure, practice making sure you're getting the first shot off and just positioning yourself to win a lot more gunfights. And another thing to keep in mind positioning yourself for gunfights is do not get caught tactical sprinting, or try your best to not get caught tactical sprinting like around corners and things like that. Because if someone's sitting there waiting, already pre-aiming something like a door, and you just come around tactical sprinting, there's no chance you're gonna win that gunfight unless the other person is just god awful at the game and doesn't know how to, like, they can't even hit you once. That's what it takes. If you come around a corner tactical sprinting, you're gonna die every time unless that's the case. So that's probably one of the most important things to remember when positioning yourself for gunfights. But all in all, you just want to make sure you're getting that first shot off, and then don't get caught tactical sprinting around corners and things like that. And getting into my fourth tip, guys, this is going to be playing around your streaks. If you're wanting to go on long streaks or get an MGB here in Modern Warfare 2, which is a 30 gun streak, if you don't know, you're going to want to be playing around the current kill streaks you have. So like when you're watching my gameplays, I usually have a UAV, a VTOL, and then also an advanced UAV. And this is super important. I utilize these every single time I get a nuke or go on a long streak. So when you first load into the game, you don't usually want to play just super aggressive balls to wall because you don't have any idea where anyone's at. You don't have a UAV or anything like that. The only thing you can use to be aware is footsteps whenever you first load into a game, but you're going to want to try to just first things first, get that UAV, and once you get that UAV, you can call it in, and then you can be a little bit more aggressive because you can see where everyone's sort of have a general idea of where everyone's at on your mini map, and so you know where to push, know where people could be coming from, and that's when you kind of be more aggressive. And then you use that UAV. The goal of the UAV is to use that UAV to get your VTOL and your advanced UAV. And once you get your VTOL and advanced UAV, sometimes I like to call them in at the same time, or I get my VTOL and call it in, and then usually it does distract people and they start trying to, you know, shoot down my VTOL, and that gives me an opportunity to get my advanced. The ultimate goal to go on a long streak and get your first MGB is just to get that advanced UAV, and that is how you do it. You just want to play for a spy plane and then play for a VTOL and then get that advanced UAV, and that is whenever you just be super aggressive. You know exactly where everyone is at on your minimap, so you can push them. You can always make sure you're getting that first shot, and that is how you streak up and go on like a long kill streak, like a 20, 25, and even a 30 to get that MGB. And for my fifth tip, guys, this is a pretty basic one. All you want to do is make sure you're using a good gun or a good setup here in Modern Warfare 2. If you're using a terrible gun that, like, you know, takes 8 shots to kill, or just an absolute pea shooter, obviously you're gonna be having a hard time trying to get, you know, a good gameplay or a good streak going, because you're just shooting a pea shooter, you know what I mean? Like, you're putting yourself at such a big disadvantage if you're not using a good class setup. So please make sure you're using a good gun if you're trying to go for an MGB or go on long streaks and just pub stomp in general. My sixth and final tip, guys, this is going to be to practice in everything, guys. Basically in everything in life, practice does make perfect. So my number one tip for practicing is going into bot lobbies, warming up, practicing your aim. You know, I'd recommend going into a bot lobby and turning up the health on the bots, so you have to track them more, can really practice, you know, improving your aim and stuff like that. And then also in bot lobbies, practice just looking at that mini map, listening to footsteps, being more aware, and it will carry over into regular public matches. And also, you know, play those public matches, you know, get those reps in. Every time you play a public match you do bad, take it as a learning opportunity. You know, everyone's got to start off somewhere in Call of Duty or in video games in general. So just practice makes perfect, man. That is probably one of the most important tips to getting better and improving your KD, getting your first nuke, etc. in Modern Warfare 2 and in Call of Duty in general. All right, you guys, gonna wrap it up for my tips here to get your first MGB and go on longer streaks here in Modern Warfare 2. Hopefully you guys did enjoy those, and comment down below how these tips help you out. I'd be super interested to see if I'm helping y'all improve y'all's game here in Modern Warfare 2. But before I sign off, guys, if you're enjoying the content here on the channel and you want to see more, make sure you go down below, smash the like button, subscribe for more, and turn on post notifications. I upload every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday with the best class setups, crazy gameplays, tips and tricks, and more. And I don't want you guys to miss anything. Without further ado, this is your Alpha, signing off.